MC Championship, undeniably the most popular Minecraft tournament of all time. 10 teams of 4 players compete to collect the most coins over 8 games to qualify for the final. Now, the overall coin record for the team is 25,888 coins by the Aqua Axolotls during MCC Pride 21, and individually 4,403 by Fruitberry during the Undercup. Let's be honest, these scores suck. Today, we'll determine how many coins can be collected at most. Not an individual record, not a team record. I'm talking most coins overall in one event. To achieve that, we'll assume that we have 40 godlike players. We'll simulate the 15 currently active games with these perfect players and then order them about how many coins overall they give in order to maximize the multiplier's effectiveness. Let's start with the least interesting ones, PvP games. If we have 40 godlike PvPers, what would happen? They can't lose a fight, otherwise they're not perfect. But that means no one gets killed? This is where it gets a little wacky. PvP games lose their interest if no one can kill anyone. In Sky Battle, for example, a game heavily rewarding kills over survival, we'll have to assume that everyone survives until the end of a round. With a 40-way tie on all 3 rounds and no kills, this game would only give out 8,520 coins. For reference, every game should be yielding around 10,000 coins. Survival games and Meltdown would play out the same way, but they also have crates that can be collected for additional bonuses. And how do we include that? Let's focus on Meltdown first. During MCC 27 Underdogs, the Cyan Coyotes, known for their Valorant gameplays, broke multiple records, including the number of crates mined, with its teamie mining 77 individually and the team collecting 107. Additionally, Smager has a record of 40 crates mined in a single round, obtained during MCC Party 2. So I think a reasonable ground is every player collects 10 crates per round, so 120 per teams, giving us a total of 18,300 coins. Survival game works on the same premise, although this time the idea of a 40-way tie is as unlikely as ever, considering the last stand rule. But regardless, I struggled a bit with this one. For most of the rounds I watched, the number of coin crates was rather inconsistent. I averaged it around 5, so we'll have to say that those godlike players also have extra luck, and that somehow each team had enough to collect 1 crate. This would end the game with a total of 8,300 coins. For our final PvP, Battle Box! Yeah, all the rounds results and draws. This would turn out to be a pretty underwhelming game. Only 5,400 coins to collect. Alright, let's look at some more interesting games. We'll start with the movements. By the way, if you're enjoying this video so far, make sure to subscribe. It's free and it helps me out a lot. Thank you. So, Ace Race. This is actually one of the few games that won't be affected by our 40 godlike player rules, as it's impossible to die. If every player finishes, it will, no matter what, give 10,015 coins. Hole in the Wall and Rocket Split Rush follow the same pattern as the PvP games, a 40-way tie. However, RSR is much more rewarding to winners, giving a whopping 18,000 coins in total compared to the 12,000 Hole in the Wall gives. But you thought Rocket Split was absurd? Just you wait. Parkour Tag sees 3 runners facing 1 hunter. But if all of them are godlike, who wins? There's no tie option this time. I decided to solve this by always giving the win to the runners, as there are 3 godlike players against only 1. This had some unforeseen consequences. As it turns out, the running bonus is much greater than the hunting bonus. We would end this game of Parkour Tag with 32,400 coins. Holy. Similarly to Ace Race, to get to your side is a pretty linear, no ties allowed. And counting the team bonuses, we would reach 9,690 coins. For the final movement game, we have Parkour Warrior, and it's a tricky one. With 40 godlike players, it's obvious that they would all complete the 5 bonus paths and the hard endings. Now, the wiki I use to track scores does not give clear instructions for ending multipliers. The extra coins gained for the additional multipliers are split depending on what each player's final range they completed. Yeah, but how does that work? The math I ended up with says 23,760 coins total, but it might be incorrect. Let me know in the comments. Here's the final ones. Team games. Here, every team is competing against each other, and you can't just have a 10-way tie. Except for census time, so let's start here. This is the only team game where everyone is independent from each other. But there's also no fixed amount of coins to get. So how do we deal with that? Well, the current best run of all time was achieved by the MCC7 Green Gordon, as they scored a staggering 2,708 coins. This is unlikely to ever be reproduced, as Season 1's dungeon generation made for easier runs overall, with MCC7 being a prime example. But hey, we got 40 godlike players, remember? So let's just give 3,000 coins to every team, who cares? For the last remaining games, they may pose problems if we use our current definition of the player roster. Every team is going against each other's, ties are impossible, some teams have to be better than others. So let's say that some players are more perfect than others and that they're all in the same team. Here's an example with Bingo but Fast. Every team would complete the card, but the order in which they would do would massively alter their scoring. We'll give all the first completions to one team, all second completions to another, and so on. This would still give a respectable total of 20,375 coins. Same principle applies to build marks. There are a total of 114 unique builds, although they of course can't all be completed within the 10-minute window. The most ever built in one round was 15 by the MCC6 Purple Pandas. Again, this was Season 1 with very different mechanics and without gold builds. But we can still build on this, pun intended, and say that every team gets 15 builds including 5 golden, and using the same order as before, ending the game with 15,920 coins. Next, Grid Runner is an easy game to scale if we keep this principle. A perfect run by a team would reward 1,900 coins, and if every team completes, it gives out 10,065 coins. And to finish off, Railroad Rush, the most recent game. It's actually pretty easy, cause all teams can tie. As of the in-between Season 4 and 5, this has only been played 4 times, giving us little data to work on. We'll have to settle with every team progressing 310 blocks, making it through 3 checkpoints, and mining 5 emeralds. If this was to happen, it would receive a total of 16,950 coins. Alright, we're done! We'll rank the games and figure out the 8 most rewarding ones before applying the multipliers. And these are, drum rolls, Big Sales at Build Mart, Railroad Rush, Rocket Spleef Rush, Meltdown, Bingo Bit Fast, Parkour Warrior, Sense of Time, and Parkour Tag. Now let's look at some records. Let's do individual scoring first, as it's not impacted by multipliers. If we have 40 godlike players, the best one of them would scrap 4,386 coins, barely under Fruitberry's record of 4,403. Here it actually makes sense to have a low score. Low, you get what I mean. Considering that this one guy is being countered by 39 other perfect players. But hey, it could be an idea for a future video, right? Alright, let's do the multipliers and see what the best team has scored. In this event, the first team would be heading to Dodgebolt with 40,322 coins. That's a little under double the current record. As for the overall total, it would reach 377,295 coins, which is over double the previous record that was set during MCC Haunted Hoedown. During the same event, Dark Eyebrows and the Violet Vampires set the record for the best last place performances, with 1,507 coins individually and 15,275 coins as a team. Both of those would be smashed, as our worst possible score here is 3,365 individually and 38,162 as a team. So what did we learn from that? You tell me. That was an actual question. I did all the math and research, and I feel like I didn't learn much. All I got is this lame video. But if you liked it, you can still like and subscribe. Tell me in the comment what you'd like to see next, and I'll catch you all soon. See ya!